This true crime documentary delves into the tragic story of a married man whose affair with his boss led to a chain of events so deadly it would leave an entire community in shock. What started as a seemingly innocent office romance spiraled into a tragic outcome, with lives destroyed in the process. This story serves as a stark reminder of how passion, power, and deception can collide, resulting in fatal consequences. The main characters, John and Veronica. John Turner was a 35-year-old married man working as a senior analyst at a successful financial firm based in downtown Chicago. Married to his college sweetheart Sarah for over a decade, John lived a seemingly perfect life. They had 2 children, a beautiful home, and all the outward appearances of a happy, successful family. However, John's life was far from perfect. Beneath the surface, he was struggling with feelings of dissatisfaction. His marriage had grown stale over the years, and he felt emotionally distant from his wife. The passion that had once characterized their relationship had faded, and John longed for something more, something exciting and new. Veronica Clark, the 42-year-old CEO of the firm, was a highly driven and ambitious woman. Known for her sharp mind and commanding presence, Veronica had built her business from the ground up, earning the respect of her colleagues. However, beneath her polished exterior was a woman who felt lonely and isolated at the top. She had been married once before, but had been divorced for years, never truly finding happiness in her personal life. Veronica and John's paths crossed frequently at work. She recognized his talent and quickly made him her trusted advisor. Initially, their relationship was purely professional, with John offering Veronica strategic business advice on critical decisions. But over time, their rapport grew stronger and a subtle flirtation began to develop. Both John and Veronica were keenly aware of the growing tension between them, but they ignored it, believing it would pass. However, it didn't. The affair begins. One evening after a particularly long board meeting, John stayed behind to help Veronica finish some paperwork. They ended up having dinner together, and one thing led to another. The chemistry that had been building over months exploded in that moment, and they found themselves in an affair. John, though married, felt an intense attraction to Veronica, both for her power and her undeniable beauty. Veronica, on the other hand, was intrigued by John's intelligence and kindness, a stark contrast to the high-pressure business world she inhabited. He made her feel special, something she had long been missing in her life. At first, the affair was a thrilling escape for both of them. They kept it hidden, meeting in hotel rooms and secret locations, always careful to avoid suspicion. For John, the affair was an illicit escape from the monotony of his marriage. For Veronica, it was a rare chance to feel desired and valued. But as the affair continued, the risks increased. Veronica's position at the company gave her immense power, but it also placed her in the spotlight. The possibility of their relationship being discovered grew more likely with every passing day. Still, neither John nor Veronica was willing to stop. Their connection had become too strong. The growing tension. While John and Veronica were caught up in their passionate affair, the consequences were beginning to unfold in other areas of their lives. For John, the guilt of betraying his wife began to gnaw at him. He loved Sarah and his children, but the allure of his secret relationship was too powerful to resist. His home life began to deteriorate as he became more distant and withdrawn. Sarah noticed the change in him, but she couldn't pinpoint the cause. On the other hand, Veronica's role as the CEO of a major company meant she was constantly in the public eye. Her reputation was everything to her, and she feared that the affair could bring ruin to both her career and personal life. The pressure of keeping the affair secret began to take its toll. She became paranoid, worried about her staff and business partners finding out. Tensions mounted between the lovers. John started to feel trapped, torn between his loyalty to his wife and the growing feelings he had for Veronica. Veronica, too, became increasingly frustrated by John's reluctance to fully commit to their relationship. She wanted more from him, more time, more attention, and more dedication. It was clear that their affair could not last forever. The discovery. Sarah, John's wife, was not oblivious to the changes in her husband. She had started to suspect that something was wrong. John was late more often than usual, and he had become increasingly secretive with his phone and computer. One evening, after a particularly heated argument with John, Sarah decided to confront him. When she went through John's personal items, she found evidence of the affair: text messages, emails, and even a hotel receipt confirming his meetings with Veronica. Devastated, Sarah confronted John. The confrontation was explosive. John, caught in the lie, admitted the affair. The anger and betrayal Sarah felt were overwhelming. But what was even more alarming was what Sarah discovered next. In an emotional conversation, Sarah learned that John's affair wasn't just about physical attraction. It had escalated into something much more serious. John was deeply torn between his love for his wife and his desire for Veronica. This admission left Sarah heartbroken and unsure of how to move forward. In an attempt to save their marriage, Sarah demanded that John end the affair with Veronica immediately. John, overwhelmed by guilt, promised he would do so. However, it was too late for reconciliation. Veronica, enraged by John's decision to end their relationship, was not going to let him go without a fight. The tragic outcome: Veronica's response to John's decision was not one of acceptance. Instead, she became consumed by jealousy and rage. She believed that John had betrayed her and was now abandoning her. But her desire for control, coupled with her growing obsession with John, led her down a much darker path. On the night of May 23, 2019, Veronica made a shocking decision. She confronted John at his apartment, demanding that he choose between her and his wife. She was no longer willing to share him or allow him to walk away without facing consequences. The argument escalated rapidly. Veronica, desperate and furious, grabbed a nearby kitchen knife and attacked John. The scene that unfolded was horrific. Despite John's attempts to defend himself, Veronica repeatedly stabbed him over and over again. The brutality of the attack shocked even the police who arrived on the scene. John's body was discovered hours later, covered in multiple stab wounds, his life taken by the very woman he had once desired. Veronica, still in a state of rage, fled the scene, leaving behind a trail of evidence that led directly to her. The investigation and arrest. Police were quick to connect the dots. They found records of the affair between John and Veronica, and witnesses confirmed their last interactions. A search of Veronica's office revealed even more disturbing evidence: letters, notes, and other personal items that demonstrated her obsession with John. Veronica was arrested the following day and charged with first-degree murder. During her interrogation, she showed no remorse for what she had done. She claimed that John had been using her and that he had betrayed her in the worst possible way by trying to leave her for his wife. The trial. Veronica's trial was a media sensation. The affair, the betrayal, and the murder of John Turner captivated the public, with people divided over whether Veronica was a victim of unrequited love or a cold-blooded murderer. The defense argued that Veronica was emotionally unstable and that the affair had taken a severe toll on her mental state. However, the prosecution countered, painting Veronica as a manipulative woman who was willing to kill to maintain control over a man who no longer wanted her. In the end, the jury found Veronica Clark guilty of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The aftermath. The murder of John Turner sent shockwaves through the community, particularly within his family. His wife, Sarah, devastated by the loss, struggled to come to terms with the double betrayal of her husband's affair and his tragic death. She found solace in her children and in the support of friends and family, but the wounds would never fully heal. Veronica's actions had destroyed not only John's life, but her own as well. Once a powerful CEO, she now faced the reality of spending the rest of her life behind bars. The affair, which had seemed so enticing at first, had ultimately led to irreversible consequences. A cautionary tale. The story of John Turner, his affair with his boss, and the tragic murder that followed is a chilling reminder of how unchecked desires and unchecked power can lead to deadly consequences. The affair, initially a thrilling escape, turned into a destructive force that cost a man his life and destroyed the lives of everyone involved. If you found this documentary compelling, Please like and subscribe to Bharat Array for more true crime stories that delve into the darker sides of human nature. Thank you for your support.